morning show here on Arise News. Health workers in Nigeria, under the auspices of joint health sector unions, has declared a nationwide strike over hazard allowance and non-payment of withheld salaries of their members, among other contentious issues. The unions told their members to withdraw services from the midnight of Sunday, September 13, 2020, since nothing concrete was achieved at the meeting with the federal government. According to the statement, leaders of various health unions in the sector unanimously reached the decision at the end of their expanded National Executive Council meeting. The health workers had, in a letter dated August 30, 2020, addressed to the Federal Ministry of Health, issued a 15-day ultimatum to the federal government to meet their demands. An up-to-date assessment of the health worker strike were now being joined by OLATUNJI TAJUDEEN, Chairman, Nigerian Union of Allied Health Professionals, and Joint Health Sector Unions, Lagos State Council. Good morning, Olatunji TAJUDEEN. Welcome to the morning show.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Well, I'm sure many of our viewers feel the same way we feel here, that whereas in other parts of the world, health workers who are in the front line of the battle against COVID-19 are being honored and appreciated. Here in Nigeria, we're still dealing with this problem within the health sector of unpaid salaries, unpaid arrears, grievances. Since about May this year, resident doctors have been protesting. Now, joint health workers unions are also protesting. But you are a member of JOHESU. Yeah. What are your demands? What are the issues? What is the status of the negotiation with the federal government? And why is it that no progress has been made?
Yeah, thank you for the brief breakdown you had initially. It's just that in this part of the world, we don't appreciate what we have. Because under normal circumstances, health workers are not even supposed to go on strike. Our work is one of the essential services that we have all over the world. And when you have been agitating for the same issue for many years, and you seem not to have any response, any positive response from government, and besides, we don't even appreciate the importance of health. And health is not just sickness, it's a state of well-being and mental alertness. So if we consider health as our priority, we will not wait until a union is holding Congress, union is writing ultimatum, union is declaring strike of health workers. And coincidentally, today is our day. We need to be healthy. We need to be safe for our patients to also enjoy safety. Because the environment in Nigeria is not conducive for any health worker. And that is why you see this incessant strike all the time. The doctors will say their own, other health professionals will say their own, and it still boils down to government yielding to our demands. It's a very simple thing if government always carry along its workforce. Thank you.
The demands.
I asked you about the demands, what the issues are,
the first one,
the status of the negotiation.
Yeah, the first one, we are talking about consolidated health salary scale, which was reviewed for 2014 for doctors. Doctors are on consolidated medical salary scale, COMMES. We are on consolidated health salary scale, which is CONHES. So what is good for the goose is good for the gander. If you review this upwards, you need to review the other one. We work in the same environment. We are exposed to the same hazard. We deal with the same patients. So what is the rationale behind you have reviewed one since 2014? This is 2020. You are yet to review the other one. So that is the first thing. The second one, we recently signed a memorandum of understanding with federal government. Certain percentage of our basic of our consolidated salary should be paid as COVID-19 allowance, hazard allowance. It might interest you to know that our hazard allowance in health sector is 5,000 naira per month across board, even for doctors. So when the government got to know this kind of embarrassing hazard allowance, they decided that we have performed well, they should reward us with COVID-19 hazard allowance. We freely signed a memorandum of understanding with government, and when it comes to implementation, they did not implement what we signed. So that is the second one. Third one, a strike was embarked on 2018, precisely June, May-June 2018. April-May, sorry, 2018. And this strike, before we started it, we exhausted all measures of dialogue with government. And we gave notice. And to our surprise, they ceased the salary for April and May, saying since we don't work, there will be no pay. And this is not the first time there will be a discriminatory action on our group. The doctors will go on strike, nothing will happen to their salary. The lecturers will go on strike, nothing will happen to their salary. So why are you now implementing no work, no pay for our group? So, and since that time, we've been agitating, pay this 2 months salary back. We've not gotten any response. That's the second point. The third point, we have been in court with government severally on issues that concerns career of our members, welfare of our members, and judgments were given in our favor, precisely National Industrial Court, which is a labor court. But up to today, government will not obey any of the judgments. In fact, the immediate past minister once boasted, that's Professor Isaac Adewale, boasted that just be collecting the judgments, nobody will implement the judgment. So it's just that government is not putting the right people in the right place. If you are really interested in stability in health sector, how can an organization say he will not obey court judgment? You are calling for anarchy. Because if you don't obey court judgment, what you are indirectly saying is that judicial arm of government is not important. You belong to the executive. So judicial arm of government should also be given that independence. So that is number 3. Number 4, we are also talking about headship of departments. Some of us went to university just like the medical doctor went to university. Some of us had our postgraduate just like the doctors have their postgraduate. In fact, some of us are now running fellow courses in our postgraduate colleges, like, for example, the pharmacy, which was approved by government. The pharmacists are now graduating as fellows in their West African Postgraduate College of Pharmacy. And you don't want to create the cadre. Though a few days ago, the circular came out for consultant pharmacy cadre, and other professions are also coming up. Immediately the circular came out, our friends, our colleagues, that's the NMA, they granted, they released, they have to gather themselves together, did a press release that they will never allow that thing to see the light of the day. And this is the kind of thing we are talking about, discrimination in health sector. Other clients that we always do medical tourism, that we rush to, they allow any profession to get to the peak of their career, simply because of the specialized services that can be rendered to patients. But here, even our leaders doesn't patronize public health institutions. Maybe that is the reason why they don't see anything, they don't see a reason why they should develop our health institutions. So that is another another issue we have with government. So we are not even saying they should implement everything, but those ones that can be implemented, they should please do it. There is nothing wrong in correcting our salary scale now. Even if you say you are not paying arrears, just do it and implement. So those are the issues we have with federal government.
I think we should go on a quick break. We'll be right back. Join us again.
Okay.
Welcome back to the Morning Show here on Arise News. We still have with us Mr. OLATUNJI TAJUDEEN, the Chairman, Nigerian Union of Allied Health Professionals, and JOHESU, which is the Joint Health Sector Union, Lagos State Chapter. Let me just ask you, how much longer will this strike be on for? At the moment, we understand that it's only the health workers and the federal institutions, health institutions. So the state and the local government health institutions are out of the strike for now. How long will this hold? If you could prioritize these demands, what would you say is the most important that the government should address at the moment? I know you mentioned salary scale, but is that the only one? Is that the only one you're telling government to say, if you do this, we're back to work?
Our 2-month salary withheld since 2018 must be paid immediately. Then the COVID-19 allowance, we have 3 issues that are high priority. If they could adjust our salary scale, pay the 2 months withheld, that's April and May salaries of 2018, and complete the payment of COVID-19 allowance. Others will start engaging government till they pay, till they implement them.
Okay, I quickly want to ask you about this ongoing fight and disparity between you and the doctors. Any way they're going to settle that? Because the reason a lot of people cite is that why your union does not get what they ought to get is because the doctors are quite influential and they go out the back and they block these things for you. And I'll give you a great instance. I mean, you talked about the former Minister of Health, but I remember the former Minister of Health in 1982 or 83, used to be the chairman of Resident Doctor Association in the University of Ibadan Teaching Hospital in 1993.
Yeah.
So these people, the doctors, it's like there's an unwritten war between the doctors and you guys, and they block most of your chats even in your negotiation. When would you solve that?
Yeah, thank you for that question. In fact, it's like you put words into my mouth. It didn't start today, and sometimes government are also not helping matters. Ministerial, commissionership position, special advisors, they are purely political and administrative positions. You don't have to concentrate on one particular profession to be occupying such positions. And this is the kind of things that the monopoly of just one profession brings. They will not allow other professions in the health sector to get to the peak of their career. Like you rightly said, Professor Isaac Adewale used to be national president of resident doctors. In fact, during Buhari's regime, he had to run out of Nigeria for safety because that was military, that was then a military regime. Now he became minister. It's an opportunity for him to right all the wrongs that government have been doing in health sector. But unfortunately, he came to further project the doctor's agenda. Sometimes he say it openly, carelessly, that as long as he is the minister, he will not allow anybody near the doctors. So, and those are the things that is causing disharmony. What would they gain? The money is not coming from their pocket. If government says we are going to implement this for others, why are you blocking it? It doesn't disturb your own. It doesn't reduce your own. So why are you blocking others? So, and the only way to break these jinxes is to allow seasoned health administrators to manage our health industries, just like we have in developed world. You don't put a particular professional in charge of an hospital or a health institution. Abroad, everybody go to their different fields of profession, practice what you know how to do best, while somebody carries out the administrative purpose. So similar thing ought to have happened to appointment of ministers. And even if you are not going to do it, there is a junior ministerial appointment as Minister of State. You can put one of the health professions as Minister of State to checkmate the substantive minister, so that if he's going astray, the other person will say, you better think of others. Don't just be thinking of doctors alone. As we speak now, Minister for Health is a doctor. Permanent Secretary for Health is a doctor. Director of Hospital Services is a doctor. The same thing in states. You have doctors as Commissioner for Health. You have doctors as Permanent Secretary for Health. And it's not helping the health industry of Nigeria to grow. So government should have a rethink. You should not concentrate, because ministerial appointment is political. It's not by your qualification or by your area of specialization. They should throw it open. Throw it open to other people. They can even employ a political scientist as Minister for Health, as long as the person is capable. It will not be biased. It will be neutral. But here we are. The doctors will immediately approach the person. There was a time a pharmacist was appointed as Minister for Health. Doctors wrote a series of petitions. They protested, and the minister was later removed. That's pharmacist Julius, who is the owner. Adeluyi. Yes, Adeluyi. He is the owner of Julie Pharmacy. Yes. So there was a time they employed a professor of virology. And all this time they employ non-medics. You see progress in the health sector.
Well, Chairman OLATUNJI TAJUDEEN, I'm sure one of the issues that will need to be resolved in the health sector is the inter-union rivalry, which seems to be part of the problem. 2 years ago, the Minister of Labour and Employment had to ask the Nigerian Medical Association to stop interfering in JOHESU matters. But I hope that you guys will sort that out. But we also expect that, it's not just by appointing non-medical doctors. You are right. We have had Professor Yitai Olambo, health economist, as Minister of Health. We have had Prince Julius Adeluyi, a pharmacist, as Minister of Health. But still, you guys will still need to resolve your inter-union rivalry. Thank you very much, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
We look forward to meeting you again, and we hope the matter will be resolved. Thank you.